All right. It is Friday and it's almost February. Unbelievably, we are entering February. Ugh, I just feel like I said Merry Christmas. Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. All right. Well, welcome to Fashion Forward Friday with Vivian and Alicia. This is our second show. We are so excited. This idea is magnificent. It's a brand new idea, so we can't really, gauge what's happening. It's still a baby, so and it's in the crib. But we are so excited because we both love fashion. We enjoy dressing up, looking like a lady. Our last Fashion Forward was on January the 8th. It was on January the 8th. It was a Friday because we just feel like people go through Monday through Thursday. By the time they get to Friday, they're like, ugh, is there anything fun to do? And with COVID, you can come to our party. We got, all the have the food because you can't come in our houses. But the good news is we can come together as women and enjoy ourselves. And our last episode was around the colors for 2021. We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about what not to wear, what to wear. And so tonight we are going to give you some fashion information as well. Alicia, let me introduce myself. I'm Vivian Weche. I'm the proud founder of Mission Shoppable Boutique, which is also on Poshmark, on Macari, on Vestiaire, on Tradesy, and on Instagram because you're sitting here. I have 6 other businesses because there's 7 streams of income. Are they all, going and blowing? Probably not yet, but many of them have been around since the 90s. So those are the businesses that I work during the day, but at night we have fun on our Fashion Forward. So just wanted to introduce myself. If you shop with me on Poshmark, which is the easiest one to remember, is Vivian Weche 1. You're going to see some dynamic pieces that I've curated from different places until COVID happened last year. But Vivian, and welcome everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Alicia, and I am the owner of the boutique on Poshmark.com called Fashion Forward Boutique. And you can find that at A Gachet, and that's on Poshmark.com. I have some pieces for adult women, but then I also have a children's section there where I have some really cute, trendy items for young girls who want to dress modestly, but they still want to take part in the up and coming trends. And I also have an Instagram page you can find that's at Real Alicia M, where I share fashion tips and give you some insight on the fashion industry as well as fashion forecasting and just help you navigate the fashion arena. I'm excited about tonight.
Yeah.
Wow, this is already our second episode.
I know. And, last year it was just a thought. So the important thing is when you have a thought, when you have a vision, just act on it. What's the worst thing that can happen? It could become Nike shoes that everybody wants. It could become a Tesla car that's electric and nobody thought it would ever work because we use gasoline. So just act on it. And that's what she and I are doing. And if it's your passion and something that you enjoy, then you definitely want to just do it. Step out on faith and do it. The worst thing that can happen is you don't fail.
I like that. Those are good odds. I like that.
We are going to go ahead and get started with our fashion forecast. And I'm going to turn it over to Alicia right now to start.
Okay, so for our fashion forecast, as you know, our last episode, we talked about the Pantone colors of the year. If you missed that episode, don't worry. It is posted on Miss Vivian's Instagram page. You can watch it there. I have some clips on my page too, but you can watch the full thing on her page. We talked about the 2 main colors, which are going to be illuminating, which is a bright, happy yellow, and ultimate gray, which is a more anchored, neutral color. It's a mid-tone gray. Well, those are just the 2 main colors that Pantone is highlighting for the year 2021. However, they have a full palette of colors that designers like me pull from when we're creating our collections for the year. The New York palette, which is the palette that we use here in the States. And then there's a London palette, which is the one that's going to be more predominantly used overseas. For the New York palette, we have oranges. We have marigold, we have a rust, we have what they're calling a French blue, which is the London sky in springtime. And then we have cerulean, which was made popular in that movie, The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes. For that.
Yes, so that's going to be the brighter colors in the palette. There's 12 colors total. We also have a green ash, a burnt coral, a mint, amethyst orchard, and a raspberry sherbet. So these colors are very floral type colors. And as you can see on the runway, there were a lot of designs where they featured more of the appliques, floral appliques, not just the printed floral, but more of a three-dimensional thing that we're seeing happening this spring and summer. And I thought this was really interesting because we create our designs way ahead of time. So all these designs were created last year during the pandemic. Fashion is art. So we draw our inspiration from what's going on around us in our environment.
Right.
And so these designers are outside, so they're experiencing, the florals and the scents and the sights and the colors. And so they're pulling all that into their designs that we're getting to experience this year.
So I wanted to ask you, so now that you're saying that, the prior year affects colors for this year.
Yes.
So if you think about 2020, that was the year that was gray. If you think about it, then it did have some bright colors. There was some bright times. There was some happy times. So when we're thinking about colors, as you said, we can paint any picture we want. We can dress any way we want. We can do black and gray like you, or we can do fuchsia like me, or we can add the gray to the fuchsia or the black to the fuchsia. So we're not stuck in how we dress. It's just us thinking out of the box. And I think that's where this thought came from, or vision came from, was us talking about fashion and how things go together, and how you told me that the yellow goes with the gray.
Yes. And it's also about balance.
That.
So balance is like you're saying, how you can wear this bright fuchsia, but you can balance that out with, I see you have pearls. And then I'm wearing a darker color, the black and the gray, but then I have this necklace on that has, adds some color to it. So it's also about balance as well, which again plays with the thought of 2020. There's balance there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
And then, of course, we can also expect our regular neutral colors, which are going to be the tans, the buttercream, that ultimate gray, and inkwell, which is a darker shade of gray. Those colors are just going to be used again to add balance to these brighter, airier colors. You need something to anchor it.
Right.
Also talk a little bit about the London colors. Those are going to be the colors you see on the runway. We have a pickled pepper, it's more like a pickle color.
That's so cool. And it looks like a pickle more than it looks like pepper, because I was imagining pepper, like the dark pepper. So it's more of like a dark green. Ooh.
It's more almost like just like a pickle color. It reminds me more of a pickle than it does of
the pepper.
Anything. Yes, ma'am.
I guess it's spicy. Is it spicy?
I guess so, yeah, because they also have like this mandarin orange color. They have a beach glass color, which is the color of, the beach glass pieces that you would find along the shore.
Right.
And then they have a really pretty pink color, which kind of reminds me of like the peony color that we're more familiar with. Again, even in this color palette, we're seeing a lot of colors that remind us of outdoors and being outside and activities that we experience outside.
That's good. And I'm glad to hear that, because those are soothing colors that, when people are around you, should we decide to wear those colors, it would give you a soothing feeling. But I'm just thinking about, like you said, the orange. I love orange in the summer with turquoise, put turquoise jewelry with it. I'm excited. Okay.
Yes, I'm excited about it too. I'm really glad with these colors that they're choosing are outdoor themed. I mean, normally we'll see some outdoor themes when it comes to the spring and summer because people are usually outside during those times. But when I'm looking at the designs and the materials that they chose, it's really airy materials. There's more of a lean towards natural fibers. So we're going to see a lot of linens, a lot of silks, just airy materials, and even the colors that they're choosing are a little bit more on the muted side. So it just makes it feel more of a natural rather than a synthetic type color.
Right. Wow. So we're going to see the linens coming back. You know,
Yes.
people are afraid to wear linen because it wrinkles so easily. But I had a client once that told me that's a rich wrinkle. And so I think of that and I'm like, they're right because you can't, linen just naturally wrinkles because of the texture.
Within the fashion industry, a little bit of wrinkle in linen is actually okay. So she wasn't that far off by saying it's a rich wrinkle.
Because the fabric itself is just light and airy for summer, for the beach, for, your cruises. Sniff, sniff. We can't go on them right now.
But we could still wear those materials and have the memories that we have.
Yeah. If it's hot as it is in Houston, we can wear it.
Silhouettes. I want to talk about the silhouettes as well. So because we're using materials that are a little bit lighter, most of the silhouettes that we're seeing are more carefree. They're a little bit looser. People are still comfortable in their pajamas and their sweatpants. They're not ready to go jump right into things that are super fitted and super tailored. And our designers took that into consideration when creating these lines. They're going to be looser, more airy, you have more room in them. They are going to create more volume because they're going to have appliques such as patchwork and embroidery. And then, of course, the motifs that they're going to have on there. But overall, we're going to see styles that are more comfortable so that we can transition from our pajamas into glamorous more easily.
Little by little.
Yes, step by step.
Just let me go slowly.
Yes,
And I've noticed that too, that the wide leg pants are back and the more flowy tops, the more flowy sundresses. I'm seeing that for summer, spring and summer. So I can see that, you know.
yes. We're also seeing the oversized jackets. So we're not going to have those tailored, cinched at the waist jackets. We're going to have those oversized jackets, almost like boyfriend size type jackets.
Hmm.
But it'll still be okay for professional settings because, again, this is the way the trend is going.
Right. And you can always belt it so it doesn't look so baggy. And then when you're going out for dinner or something, you can just throw on your jeans and your heels and put the oversized jacket and your tee, right? Your statement tee or something. So
Yeah.
so me, I grew up in banking in the 80s, so I know I still have an oversized jacket. I got my Lauren that cost, $295 back then that has the emblem on the pocket. I think I wore it on a video or something. That jacket is at least 20 years old. But I just keep him because it's Ralph. I keep him in a zipper bag and he's perfect. It still looks brand new. So the oversized to help us transition, help us feel comfortable moving from our casual clothes that we had in quarantine. What about there the shorter jackets, like bolero type jackets? Are they back? The ones that hit your waist.
Well, the ones that I'm seeing on the runway aren't those aren't as prominent as the oversized ones. Not to say that that's not something that we'll see this year because I mean we have to consider all body types and um, and such when we're creating these different fashion lines. But for the most part, I'm seeing things that fall below the waistline, maybe to cover the hips or whatnot.
Because you're still trying, we're still getting a grasp on, going out again, being in public again. And then, when I, get into my piece about body types, that might explain it too. Because
Yeah.
if you're thin, you can still wear it. If you're, plus like me, you can still wear it. So I think that's where the designers are going, let's just make it generalized.
I mean, this is normal for a trend to head this direction as far as not being so tailored, things being a little bit more loose, things being more comfortable, more of the pieces that are considered classic pieces, not so much trendy pieces.
And so it's
Yeah.
a good idea. We're really going back to old school kind of mentality, because if I think about it, designers used and fashion forward people used to say in the 80s and 90s to buy classic pieces that could, transition from season to season, year to year. So I think we're getting back in that mode again. So we're not having to, buy the trendy stuff. Like the torn jeans now. I bought like 3 or 4 pair. I did. Mine aren't torn as somebody's are some people are torn, but I don't think it's gonna last very long. The torn,
No.
really ripped ones where you can see almost your whole thigh. You might as well not have on jeans. But I just bought the ones that has a little scratch on the knee and a little scratch on the pocket. So that's where you're spending 50, 60, $70 for jeans, where if you bought some Levi's, you could transition those easily. And our audience that's watching, if you have questions, let's ask some questions, so that we can, and get you engaged too. If there's anything that you're thinking of as we're talking through this, we can answer for you, or just something that you have on your mind. Okay, Alicia, go ahead.
And I want to talk about the fabrics and prints. So there's going to be this, it's called a shimmer, surface, and textures. So that's going to be embellishments that are incorporated into the textile. It's not just glued on top or stuck on top. It's literally sewn into it. So we're seeing more attention to detail, which is another thing that's it's a little bit more haute couture now, but it used to be a quality feature, things being hand sewn and so that they last longer, like you were saying. So we're seeing that as well. As far as the colors, we're going into the stone colors and the geo colors. So the grays, marble colors that we're seeing as well. With the jewelry, we're seeing hammered, more artisan style jewelry, which I think goes back to that simpler time. It's kind of like a balance between things being more simple and things being more elegant. It's like I'm
Mhm.
seeing a mix of the two.
So elegance and simple together, where
Mhm.
people really thought about what they were wearing as far as their jewelry is concerned. Because we call it statement pieces, but women wore statement pieces back in the day. I know my mom did. It had to be unique for her to even buy it. I think you're making a good point. Simple and classic and elegant. We're going back to that.
It is going to be, like you said, statement type pieces, things that are more, that look more, they're unique. That's one of the things about artisan. It doesn't look like it was mass produced. It's going to have, details in it that let you know, okay, this was made specifically for one person or it's one of a kind. So the statement pieces, like you were saying, are going to be really important because with a statement piece, the reason it's called a statement piece is because it can literally set a whole outfit. You can
Yeah.
wear something plain Jane, like a black turtleneck, and throw on a statement piece.
It will make the statement for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, yes. And statement jewelry isn't just limited to necklaces. It's also, they call it cocktail rings. They're going to be popular, and earrings as well. Yes. She's like, you
Yeah.
don't say.
Bracelets, of course.
Yes. Bracelets, brooches as well. Brooches are making a comeback.
Yeah.
Um, so, yes, it's a lot of that antique, classic design quality that we're going to be seeing.
I'm excited. It's about time. It is about time. So this is really great information for us to have, especially when we're thinking about colors. People are still having weddings. They shouldn't be, but they're doing the whole social distance thing. So we can think about, wearing the orange or mango colors to a wedding, wearing those pretty aqua blues, the grays. A gray is really nice at a wedding, especially if in a man's suit, because he doesn't have to be black. I think people think black is like the elegant color, and it is, but you can also opt for gray. Even when you're going to say, I've often worn gray to funerals instead of black because it's not so somber. It's more like a celebration type color, but it's still muted. So yeah. All right. You're giving us all kinds of good stuff.
Yes. So I wanted to ask a question to the audience. What is one of your favorite items that you have in your closet right now that you're looking forward to wearing out? And then I also want you to say, right, like it's in your closet, but you're looking forward to a time where you can wear it out. And then I also wanted to ask you, why is that your favorite item? And
But he said everything. I'm looking forward to wearing all of it.
all of it
That's
again.
a great question. What are you looking at in your closet and going, golly gee, I can't wait to wear that? If you're thinking about um, I went to a resale boutique the other day while people are answering. Somebody give us an answer. What do you want to wear? And there were so many evening gowns there, Alicia. Oh my gosh. And they were really, really inexpensive. There were so many. And I thought, well, aren't you ever going to go to another event with your matching mask? I mean, because, people are giving all this away as though it's the end of life. And then you got to go back and buy it again. Because I'm at the resale boutique picking up all of those for $10. I'm like, another man's trash is another man's treasure. So I'm looking forward to wearing my long, elegant gowns and going to parties with my husband and dinner with my husband. And we were always going somewhere every weekend, sometimes Saturday and Sunday. And you had to dress up because my husband's from Nigeria. So you got to go over the top, elegante. Don't come in here looking like whatever. so, so for me, I'm looking at my closet tonight like, oh man, I haven't even wore that one. It still has a tag on it. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. What are you looking forward to wearing?
For me, it's shoes.
Ooh,
Because being on Zoom, people don't ever see your feet. So you don't get to wear
you can get up in the air or something, and even
right, like
they can't see your shoes. I never thought of that.
they can't see your shoes. And then when I'm going and picking up things at the store, I can't stand in line, these long lines with uncomfortable shoes, even
Right.
if they're cute. And then if I go to the grocery store to pick up something where they just put it in the car, they still don't see my shoes because I didn't get out of the car. So it's like
I need
I'm looking,
somebody to see my shoes.
yes, I'm looking forward to wearing cute shoes again.
Yes, me too. I have too many cute shoes. I bet you do too, because I knew you. I know you used to have cute shoes. But
Yes,
did you wear your chucks and pearls?
I did. I did. Of course, I had to partake in that. That was trending, which is another example of that casual classic with that elegant chic,
Mm-hmm.
that balance. I like it.
And shopping. But the story behind her being on Vogue with those chucks on, right? So she and her people wanted her there with the suit like a VP. But somebody at Vogue chose that picture instead. It was supposed to be inside.
Wow.
Go back and
Hmm.
read. My hair caught on fire. Because I'm like, she's the vice president of the United States. She don't need to be standing up on no Vogue with no chucks on, and I don't care. And everybody's like, oh, chucks and pearls. I'm like, she is the second highest office in the land. I need to be standing like this. She didn't choose that, but that's for another day because we know probably why it wasn't chosen.
Yeah. I saw that there was controversy about it, but I didn't look into it.
I read all of it. I read all of it, but it was too late because it was already out there.
And then it ended up trending. Like I saw everybody
And
doing it.
everybody
Not just certain groups.
So what the devil meant for bad, God turned it around for her good. Because everybody in the whole United States, it was either taking a picture with their chucks and pearls or wearing chucks and pearls, or I'm going to put on chucks. And I was like, nanny, nanny, boo, boo. So, yay. So just, and she's so cheeky anyway. So,
Yeah, she just used the momentum of something that was meant to be negative,
right.
and it ended up being something positive.
And
So,
turn it around. And speaking of trends, what about Bernie Sanders
oh,
with his,
and the
I'm going to talk about that forever. And I'm like, he went and made a sweatshirt for $45 and sold out in hours, and then gave the money to a soup kitchen. So Bernie
yeah,
took that negativity, because people were trying to make fun of him, like old grandpa standing over there, physically distancing, sitting over there with his little. It was cold. It was in Washington. I've been in Washington in January. It is freezing. So he was just like, "Can y'all just hurry up, please? Let me. Where's my wife? Is the car running?" So it's just fashion. Now people want his mittens. They're wanting
and
mittens. And you told, where did they come from? You told me that, right?
yes, it's a second grade teacher that's there in his state, and she makes them out of recycled sweaters. So it's a form of sustainability. Instead of throwing the garment away, she makes mittens. And since the meme went viral, and everybody's like, where are these mittens? She's gotten several thousand orders, but she says she's not selling them because she actually gave it to him as a gift. So it sounds like it's a more charity work going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love stories like this.
Hmm.
Just like I said earlier, just an idea, and he didn't even know the picture was probably taken of him because he looked cold sitting there. So, okay, well, I keep interrupting, but this is good. It's good conversation. So what else did you want to share with us tonight?
So that's all that I have to share right now as far as the fashion forecasting. Unless you want me to move into the transitional.
I'm going to do the body type, dressing for the body types, different body types. So wanted to just kind of talk about dressing for your body type, and we all have different bodies. We have, we have flaws. We think we have, issues, but we're all beautifully and wonderfully made. None of us need to look alike. We wouldn't all want to walk around looking alike because that's an alien. That would be aliens. So we have unique body types that require a certain sense of style. And as Alicia just alluded to, we got to know our body types. What colors look good on us? Because some of the colors, drain your skin. They're not vibrant on you. And then there are colors that you wear, and people are just like, "Oh my God, you look beautiful. That's your color." And so when we're thinking about our body types, so I'm just going to very quickly go through the different body types, and then we will do our transitional piece tonight. But we're so glad you came. For those of you that are going to watch later, you missed it. We had our little dance party in the beginning, but overall, it's been a great evening, and I'm so glad that Alicia and I are doing this together. So the first is your waist is wider than your bust. You consider yourself to have fuller hips. Your shoulders are more narrow than your hips, and you have a fuller rear end. That's a triangle or pear shape. So that would be the triangle or pear shape. So you just imagine what a pear looks like or a triangle. The second one is you may describe your body type as curvy. You have a well-defined waist. Bust and hip measurements are about the same, 36, 24, 36. Yeah.
Brick house, huh?
Defined waist, bust, and hips measurements are the same. You have an hourglass shape or a curvy shape. Okay. The third one is you're generally well proportioned. Your shoulders are broader than your hips, not necessarily curvy through the hips. Your waist isn't really well defined, and that would be an introverted triangle or apple shape. All right. Number 4, you're not really curvy. Shoulders and hips are nearly the same. Your waist is straight up and down. Weight is fairly evenly distributed throughout your body. That would be an athletic type, or athletic body type. So you're kind of like those girls that can just wear everything, like Alicia, pretty much. So just, thinking about those 4 different body types, some of us are even, it's a mixture of the body type. So this is just basically a generalized, simple guideline that we can go by. And it's a starting point when we're trying to determine, what looks better on me, what fits better on me, what are the clothes that are more flattering. Do I need to make sure that I pull out my longer jackets, as Alicia said, to cover my hips, because I've been in the pandemic and I've been eating a lot. Um, so you can just cinch your waist and you look curvy with your jeans on and your heels or your slacks or your wide leg pants. Because couldn't we do, I'm going to ask you this, I don't know. I'm thinking the long jacket and then the wide leg pants, and then we could do a belt and maybe a scarf, just so it's not, everything's not flowy, because it looks
Yeah.
like those eccentric women with the big jacket and big pants. Everything's big. But I was thinking, if we wanted to do like because a belt always accentuates your waist, and people don't really wear a lot of belts anymore, do they?
They wear them for functional purposes rather than for style purposes.
Oh, really?
Yes, like what you're saying is more for style, like to situate the waist or to hold something like your outer jacket together. But I think people wear belts, just put them through the belt loop. There's more to belts than that.
In the 90s, we wore belts as a statement, just like
Right.
jewelry wore statement belts. If you had your Ferragamo belts, you're gonna put that Ferragamo on top of that black jacket so everybody can see it when you go out. They gonna know I got it on because it cost me $450. So I think that's what I wanted to share about, the body type is not get stuck, but just think about what flatters your body type. What body type do I have? Do I look like, the pear? If I look like the pear, then I know what to buy, because I'm probably smaller on top. So I'm going to buy tops that fit, and maybe the flared pants,
Right.
or long maxi dress that fits me at the top, because then it make you just look real cute and sexy. So, but that's what I wanted to share there. So let's go into our last piece before our drawing.
I
And,
want to mention something really quick about the body types, if
mhm.
that's okay. So, much like the color analysis, getting a body type analysis is really important when you're picking clothing because, like you said, it's important to be aware of your figure and how your body is shaped because you're going to be putting garments over top of it. So it's a matter of um, geometry over anatomy. And so it's really important to know what your body shape is and to have an objective analysis done so that you're not in your feelings and you're really knowing what your body shape is so that you can select the right pieces like you were saying because it's all about harmony. You want to balance your shoulder width and your hip width should fall at the same width and then your waist of course should be a little bit smaller. So based on your body shape, like you were saying, is going to determine what you put on to create that harmony and that balance. It's
Right.
not about your weight at all. It's just about the shape of the body.
And you're so right, because sometimes you see women and they're very uncomfortable with the dress because they may have hips and they keep pulling it because it's riding up. Where if they had a more flared dress, A-line type dress, it would just fallen over their hips, because I just can't be uncomfortable when I'm somewhere. I just, when I stand up, I'm like trying to pull it down, or when I'm walking, I'm trying to pull it down. I just want to be free. So I'd rather, go a size up just, and then have it tailored. So that's what I feel like, and I learned that too, that, if you want that dress, then you're going to have to spend some money on your tailoring, because you have to go
Yes.
a size up or two sizes up and then have them make it so it fits your hips perfectly and it falls the right way. That's what Fashion Forward Friday is all about. Okay, so are we going to do our um, little mini um, fashion show?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you going to show us?
So first, I'm going to show you some jackets. So I have an oversized jacket, a tailored jacket, and a color block jacket.
Oh, good. So while Alicia is changing and preparing, so somebody tell me who is your style icon? Who is your style icon? So, name somebody: Versace, Dior, um, Coco Chanel. Who is your fashion icon that you can say, I love how they style? Anybody, put it down here in the comments. Oh, it looks like Alicia is ready to show us. So we're looking at a black jacket. Oh, you sharp. You ready to go sign that contract?
And another thing you can do is just to give it some dimension.
Yes, that is very nice. Very nice. It looks almost vintage. Is it vintage?
No, it's not. It's not vintage, but it has that, like those classic details of a
Yeah,
men's jacket.
it does. That is our brooches. That's our, statement jewelry. This is our colors. We will, probably have another show in February. We have to just get together, our schedules together. But we really enjoyed having you guys here. It's been fun. Let's give the names of our Poshmark closets again.
Oh, yeah.
So mine is Vivian Weche1. Pretty simple if you know me. Vivian, Vivian Wechie, and the number one. And then yours is
Mine is at A Gachet. That's the letter Gachettt, and that's at Poshmark. And then my Instagram is Alice, real Alicia M, which is RealAlicia M.
okay. Yay!
I did it.
Did a fabulous job, Doc. You were absolutely wonderful.
I'm ready for pickled pepper with my French fries.
Pickle with your ice cream or your hot tea. So we're going to do the drawing. I have all the little names.